After the battle against Eyes, the new Shadow Dragons, and the alien Spoits, the Earth finally re-entered a period of peace. However, as long as Goku and the others are around, peace won't last forever. Something to keep in mind. This brings us to the arrival of the ancient Saiyans, Naz, Grippy, and Boca. The Saiyans appeared in front of Goten, and as they spoke, Goten understood that they just wanted to fight. But with the tremendous difference in power between them, Goten was ultimately defeated. An unprecedented crisis comes to Earth, and this is just the beginning. In the previous chapter, after confronting the ancient Saiyans, Goten and Trunks would take them to a barren wasteland where they can spar. Naz would undergo a very odd transformation that resembled a Super Saiyan form. However, his hair would turn purple. This new form turned out to be quite a bit to handle for Goten, and eventually, Naz would pierce him through the torso, nearly killing him. As Trunks holds Goten's limp body in his hands, he knows he has to get out of here ASAP if Goten has any chance of survival after an injury like that. "I really can't understand it," Trunks says. "This is the first time I've seen someone like you." "What can I tell you?" Naz replies. "You were saying that you live in search of strong people, and after so many fights, you met someone who didn't like to fight, and this is how you react?" Naz is still confused, however, not understanding what the big deal is. In addition to being strange, you also ask strange questions, he remarks. "But in answering your question, even if it is against your will, you will be willing to fight, won't you? You will do everything to survive. The other person's will and circumstances don't matter. That's being a Saiyan. So in short, I have to fight," Trunks says, with Naz replying, "Exactly. The weak don't matter. But I also want to know," he goes on, "that person. Why do you hold him?" Speaking of Goten's body. "It's no longer useful for anything, is it? It'll end up being in the way. Better throw it away," he says. Trunks is distraught as he knows there's no way he can outrun these guys, but he has to think of some way to at least protect Goten's body. However, before he can react, Goten is swiped from his hands. What? All of a sudden, he looks up and sees that Goten's been tossed into the air. Naz has launched his body into the air, takes aim, and as Trunks can do nothing but look on, he launches a blast. Trunks tries to protect his brother, but he isn't quick enough, and if Goten wasn't dead before, he definitely is now, after being blown to pieces. Trunks is stunned, frozen by his own inability to protect his lifelong friend, as Naz shows a satisfied, primitive look on his face. "I can't believe someone like this exists," Trunks says. "You can move around easier now, right?" Naz asks. "Now we're ready to fight. Do you understand?" Trunks, trembling with rage now, vows that he'll never forgive them as Naz asks why he's so angry. "I've helped you remove that obstacle out of your way." But this absolutely sends Trunks spiraling as his power explodes and he transforms. Not into a Super Saiyan 2, but to the surprise of the ancient Saiyans, Trunks takes on the Super Saiyan 3 form, swearing that he'll destroy them with all his might. "This is awesome," Naz replies. "You have way more energy than the guy from before." The new Saiyans seem to turn their anger into power. "I'm so excited about this." Over in the nearby city, Gohan is racing to the battlefield as he can feel a seismic shift in ki. Goten's ki. And now, Trunks' ki has grown by a lot. "What's happening over there?" he thinks to himself. "I have to go faster." Back at the battlefield, Super Saiyan 3 Trunks and Naz get ready to go head to head as Trunks charges at his opponent. Naz easily stops his first attack though, with Trunks barely able to save his head from being knocked off by a single punch from the ancient Saiyan. Fortunately though, Trunks seems to at least be doing marginally better than Goten at staying alive. At least for now, as he blocks incoming attacks, but unfortunately isn't able to land anything himself. As these two trade blows, shockwaves can be seen throughout the sky and the very wasteland below them begins to crumble. Boca and Grippy watch amazed from the ground below, as Grippy even verbally expresses how impressed she is by the new Saiyans. All of a sudden, Trunks lands a few devastating punches on Naz and then kicks him across the battlefield. As he backflips and catches himself, Trunks prepares a massive finish buster to finish this battle and launches it at the Ancient Saiyan. Naz puts his hands out to catch it and tries to send it back as the attack explodes in his hands. When the smoke clears, Naz is still standing. However, he's extremely impressed by Trunks' new power, saying that he certainly surprised him. "I'm excited to see how far you can go," he says. "After all, it's gonna be a good battle." "Well, what if we increase our powers a little more?" he goes on. "I'm asking you now. Don't disappoint me." Naz starts powering up even more beyond his prior transformation as his power soars beyond what was previously thought possible. His hair becomes much sharper and his ki becomes more pronounced. Naz has released even more of the Ancient Saiyan's power, showing off what seems to be, as of right now at least, the true forms of their race. "Well, let's get on with this now," he says, as even though Trunks might have gained a slight upper hand before, this new transformation has significantly powered him up. How much power does this guy have? Naz instantly appears in front of Trunks and decks him with a punch to the face that sends him soaring across the skies. Then, he appears above him and sends him crashing back into the earth with a punch to the gut. He drives Trunks into the earth and then creates a massive ball of ki above them. Naz looks to end this, slamming the giant attack into Trunks, who's pinned into the ground, and eviscerates him where he lies. His attack creates a massive crater in the ground as Trunks struggles to maintain consciousness and reverts back to his base form. "What a pity," Naz admits. "I thought you'd hold on longer." "If you can't move, it's inevitable," he says as he looks to finish this and then raises his hand into the air. He says a final farewell to Trunks and throws a devastating punch. However, this is when someone stops his punch by catching his fist. It's Gohan. "Who the hell are you?" Naz asks, as Gohan goes over to Trunks and apologizes for being late. "I went to go get sensu beans," he says as he gives one to Trunks, and within seconds, Trunks is back on his feet. "What a surprise," Naz says, shocked that Trunks was healed so easily. "You got your energy back." "What a strange thing." "Trunks," Gohan says, "what's going on here? Where's Goten?" he asks. Trunks instantly breaks down in tears as he reluctantly tells Gohan that Goten actually died. "What? How?" Gohan asks. Naz cuts in. "That's right. It's just that I had no interest at all. My only purpose is to fight against the strong. I don't care about the weak." "His mind works totally different from ours," Trunks tells Gohan. "He has no feelings. He only attacks his targets. He attacked Goten when he wasn't even fighting. He didn't stand a chance. When he stopped moving, it became just a piece of meat that interfered in the fight," Naz explains. "So I took it out. I don't care about this nonsense, but tell me, with that tail, you're a Saiyan too, right?" he asks. Gohan is struggling to contain his rage right now as Naz admits that he's able to sense an absurdly large power coming from him. "Out of all this rubbish, you're the best. Now I get it." "Shut your mouth," Gohan growls as he begins to undergo his transformation. He instantly releases power hard to fathom by even the Ancient Saiyans, as in the blink of an eye, after learning about his brother's murder, Gohan transforms into a Super Saiyan 5. At the sight of this new power, the Ancient Saiyans, specifically Naz, have found the Holy Grail. "Wow, that's the kind of power I'm looking for," he says excitedly. "I've been waiting for this. It's been worth it to come all this way," he goes on, but in the middle of his excitement, Gohan lands a crushing punch to the face before he's able to even react. The spectators are shocked at not only how strong, but how fast Gohan has gotten as Naz is sent tumbling backwards. Naz gets back to his feet and erupts in excitement as he claims that he is the best. "Oh yes, you are unbelievable. I couldn't even react. It's been a long time since I met someone so strong, he says excitedly. I'm really surprised how strong these new Saiyans are, Grippy says, as she and Gohan spectate from above. Very interesting. After a long time, I think I can finally give it my all too. Here we go. Let's follow our hearts and get carried away. Naz begins releasing the full extent of his power and transforming once more. This transformation, however, is far different from any power they felt before. As Naz's power erupts, Gohan looks on, waiting for him to assume his final form. This new transformation that Naz undergoes looks a lot like their version of Super Saiyan 4, however, as his fur grows wildly all over his body. This is for real, he declares. We're gonna have a lot of fun, new Saiyan. I'll never forgive you, Gohan says as he readies himself. Super Saiyan 5 versus the true power of the ancient Saiyans. The final showdown is moments away from taking place between the new evolution and the ancient power of the warrior race. And Goku and Vegeta are still nowhere to be found. In the return of Dragon Ball AF, I hope you guys are just as excited as me to not only see this clash, but with the moon about to emit the special light, hopefully see the birth of the true legendary Super Saiyan.